Friday, the 7th June,
Okay.
2024.
2024. So we're live at Salt Lake City, Utah for the Tax and Legal Conference with Mark J Kohler and his team. And today we're having the walk. We're doing a walk right now, walking tour.
As well, please.
Yes. So this is Patty.
Hello. Hey, Patty.
Patty is our coach in the group. She coaches us on how to put the best of our thinking cap on. so we can be in the right headspace to help you guys save in taxes legitimately. All right, look at this crew. We're a crew of 25 doing this work. And guess who is the tour guide? The tour guide is, wait for it. Wait for it. How do I turn this camera? Okay, I don't know how to turn the camera, but this is it. Matt Sorenson. Say hi. Matt, say hi.
Hey everybody! You're missing out on a walking tour of Salt Lake City.
The best tour guide ever.
Yes, that's Matt, the directed IRA guy. All right.
Alright, so I'll do a little more Mormon history.
And this is
Big deal of how
Rosemont.
this all got settled. So,
My name is Toby.
the Mormon Church actually started in Palmyra, New York.
How do I stop
Okay?
this?
So
I don't know how to
Joseph
turn.
Smith
I want them to get
founded the
there.
Mormon Church and
Okay.
translated the Book of Mormon, which is a big piece of the Mormon religion. It's called the Book of Mormon, which is another testament of Jesus Christ. It's about Jesus, basically in the Americas. Okay. So, no.
Not yet. Okay. What's your name?
Like the crackers?
Oh, this is Reed. We're here together in Salt Lake City.
Yes. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Yes. How about you?
I'm from Texas, San Antonio.
Texas. Yeah. Okay. I see those crew. All right. I'm just gonna keep showing you Salt Lake City.
What's his?
All right. Hold on. All right.
No, he gets on
This is downtown. I believe this is called the downtown of Salt Lake City.
title is so appealing because like
Salt Lake. Sorry, I said Salt Lake. I meant to say Salt Lake City. So we had rain this morning. It wasn't supposed to rain, but I guess who knows? So we got a little bit of shower saying welcoming us on the walking tour. So we're here and still doing the walk. They have
A lovely city.
yeah, it is. And hold on, I'm about to turn the camera around. Alright. So they have the ground train tracks here, and here comes one of the trains. See that? It's coming. That's a train.
So this is what it says it is. This is a theater. This is actually newer. This was never here when I lived here. But the Eccles family is one of the biggest families in the state of Utah. You probably know like the Eccles and the Huntsmans are like kind of the big philanthropic families in the state of Utah. So the Eccles owned a bank called First Security Bank. Sold to Wells Fargo a long time ago and made the family super wealthy. And they're very big philanthropic supporters on so many different things. There's big supporters of the University of Utah, the arts, the Huntsman family. John Huntsman Jr. was governor of the state and was ambassador to China and Russia. He was an ambassador for President Obama and President Trump, if you can believe that. So it's pretty,
Connected.
only that, that's just different people to work for, So, but But the Huntsman family is big into healthcare and cancer research. They're one of the biggest funders of cancer research in the country. So they have a Huntsman Cancer Institute up by the university. The Eccles family also had one of the family members named Mariner Eccles, was chairman of the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve building in Washington, D.C. is actually called the Mariner Eccles Federal Reserve Building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I actually served, this is when I was in my 20s, I served on a commission that put up a statue at the Capitol for Mariner Eccles and put up a statue at the Federal Reserve Building in Washington, D.C. of Mariner Eccles. Because he's kind of a big deal for Utah. His family was pushing it. I got to know the Eccles family. It was a little fun fact. But, okay.
Do they self-direct?
Today's okay. Okay, we're only 1 block away from the temple. So I want to get any of the Mormon history out here before I get up there, so I can say what I want. Because they got spies up there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the Mormon Church, founded in New York by Joseph Smith. He's 14 years old. An angel appears to him and tells him, because he's been praying to find out if there was a true church. What church should I join? An angel came down and told him, there's no true church. You're going to have to basically start one. I'm giving the Reader's Digest version, okay, Ben? All right. So then he tells him that there's some plates. This angel comes back and visits him, and that they are another testament of Jesus Christ. And he tells him where the plates are buried, and he goes and finds the plates and takes those and transcribes them into what is the Book of Mormon. Okay, this is the gist of it. Okay, there's a lot of facts I'm skipping here. All right, then he founds the church in New York. The Mormons end up going to Pennsylvania, to Ohio, to Illinois, and eventually they get kicked out of all these places. Okay, and they end up coming west because we're gonna do our own damn thing. Okay, and they came out west to Utah. Now, Joseph Smith ends up getting killed. Okay, he gets put in a jail, and a mob ends up killing him. Okay, there's big beef between the Mormons and certain other people that were in government. There was a governor, I think this is in Missouri, and Joseph Smith ends up getting killed with some other leaders of the Mormon Church. The person who takes over is Brigham Young. So Brigham Young, which is BYU, and Brigham Young becomes the first governor of Utah, brings the Mormons west. Okay, so they come as they're traveling west. They don't know where they're going. They had no destination in mind, right? A lot of people had explored west, and they thought the Great Salt Lake was the ocean, right? People were like, what's out there? By this time, they knew that wasn't the ocean, but in the 1800s, it was like, what the hell is out west, right? So the Mormons come out here. There's not much out here. Tons of people die crossing the plains and coming west. Pretty actually cool story of true pioneer people. That's it's very cool that they made it all the way out here. But they stop here. There's a place to the north there on the mountain. We can see it better when we get by the temple. It's called This Is the Place. Monument. There's a monument there where Brigham Young looked over and said, "This is the place." And kind of for everyone else, it's oh, thank goodness, we can finally stop. And so they mark down, this is going to be the place we're going to go, the Salt Lake Valley here, which, it's protected by the mountains, and you've got the Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake goes over there to the west. There's other lakes around here, and so this is where they settle. We're going to go this way, and this block is the temple.
Life chart.
Questions?
Are you posting live?
Yeah, I just did it live now. I wasn't live before.
Oh.
Okay, so that was part of the history of the temple, and like I said, Matt Sorenson, the directed IRA guy, is the one doing the tour guide. We're here in Salt Lake City, Utah, for the Tax and Legal Conference, and we have a lot of certified tax advisors here. The goal of the entire team is for us to help you guys save in taxes. And the tax code is so huge that not one person can say that they are. Oh, 1 second, let me show you this view. Right? That's a beautiful view here. See that? See that?
It's here.
Okay, so we help you guys, business owners, saving taxes, prepare for retirement, get your assets protected, and make sure that you don't go through probate if anything were to happen to you. I have to extend my speed now. Say hello. Oops, 1 second. Say hello. Hello. What's your name?
Mia
All right.
on the walk.
Mia on the walk in Salt Lake City, Utah. We already met. Okay, we didn't meet you before. So, what's your name now?
Steve Moyer.
All right. Okay. Salt Lake City, taking the historical walk. All right. Let's meet more people. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Riz.
Hi, Riz. What's your name?
Irina.
Irina. What's your name?
Hi, Julia.
Leah. Okay. I think we arrived to the temple. Hold on, guys. I'm turning the camera around.
So there's some Matt Sorenson history here too, okay? There used to be a big building there, Key Bank building. That's where I worked in undergraduate. And the exit was just to the other side here. And that's where I would give Brian David Mitchell, the guy who kidnapped Elizabeth Smart, money. On the way out. So,
You gave
yeah.
him money?
Yes! I give a buck or two every once in a while.
Do you support it?
Yeah. Like, am I an accomplice?
Yeah.
What does this mean?
We probably got to go back to trial.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, I'm going to get charged. Statute of limitations is run. Okay, so I asked my friend, her name's Erin Mendenhall. She really is the mayor of Salt Lake City. And I asked her, what should I tell them besides like Mormon history? And she said, well, bridge, because you're going to walk down Main Street, across Main Street. This is a big issue between the city and the Mormon Church. This little area here. The Mormon Church owns this City Creek Plaza and everything over here. Temple Square's over there. We'll get to that. And then the church administration and office building, which is where the prophet lives. So the Mormon Church believes that there's a prophet that lives on the earth today. So there's who's the prophet right now? Russell M. Nelson. Okay, he's the current prophet, and he gets direction from God on what the people need to be told. So that's a very unique thing in the Mormon Church. Like, he is a living prophet, right? I don't know any other religions people believe in, but I don't think anybody else believes that. There's like so his office where he works is right there. We'll go by there. Okay. All right, I got on a tangent there. Okay. This in like the news and everything for a couple of years when they were building this. There's a lot of issues with the city and the Mormon Church. So over time, the percent of the population that's Mormon has gone down significantly. So it used to be majority Mormon members of the Mormon Church. They call it the LDS Church, by the way, Latter-day Saints. And but that's now not the case. Not even close. So it's particularly in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is a lot less population. It's more urban. So of Mormons that live here. So in the more rural areas, it's a little more higher population of Mormons. So okay. All right. So we'll hit Temple Square. By the way, this light rail, if you don't want the walk back, if you're like, I got enough steps in for the day, the light rail is free to the courthouse, which is right by Grand America. So we'll give instruction if anyone wants to take the light rail back rather than walk back.
Okay, so that's a little more history, and I'll get you introduced to more people on the top. Hi, say hello. Hey. What's your name?
Jeanette.
Jeanette.
Minor.
And
Marshmallow.
you see, Marshmallow is even taking a walk.
She got tired.
Exploring Salt Lake City, Utah. It's my first time here, so What state did you come from?
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Oh, okay. Nice to meet you guys.
Finished undergrad at University of Utah, so he hates BYU. He's a youth, big rival. And then he went to Boston, Oregon, and
Say hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Zach,
Okay.
photographer.
The photographer on the walk. Yes, with Mark J Kohler's team.
Yeah. Having lots of fun here in Utah.
Is this your first time here?
It's my second time here. This is the first time I'm walking around. It's beautiful.
Okay, perfect.
Right here, that is the Sorenson temple. Again, that was built finished in 1893, and it took 40 years to build. It is the largest Mormon temple of any of them. There are hundreds of them across the world. That is the big church. That is like where the real leaders of the Mormon church are. In that building that says Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, which is like where the prophet and they have people who are apostles. They have like 12 people who are what they call the Quorum of 12 Apostles. That's where they mostly are. The church has office buildings all throughout here. On the other side, they have a conference center up there. You can see behind the temple. You see that big kind of like granite building right behind it? That's their conference center. So they'll have a conference for all members of the church twice a year. It's broadcast on television. The prophet speaks. It's at that. All right, let's walk across when it changes. Okay, so yeah, that is not real gold. So that is called the angel Moroni. All LDS temples have an angel at the top, the angel Moroni. That is, when I mentioned Joseph Smith, that's the angel that appeared to Joseph Smith.
Okay. If you're just joining us, this is a little bit of history about the Salt Lake City, Utah. We're here for the Tax and Legal Conference, and a few of the tax pros, about 25 of us, are taking this walking tour to know a little bit more about the city. And our tour guide is Mark Sorenson, the directed IRA guy. So, are you self-directing your IRA? Do you even have an IRA? Do you even have a retirement plan? All right. You have to make sure that you're preparing for that future. And we are here to help you if you ever need us. All right. Let me show you the temple. We're right in front of the temple. That's the angel Moroni. Oh, 1 second here. Where's the angel? That's the angel Moroni. This is the temple. It's under renovation. It took them 40 years to build that temple. Look at this. Oh, beautiful space here. It's so calm and quiet. Oh, okay.
Always? Usually is, but not always. Usually is.
Why do you have two types of Mormon families? Some of them they live normal life, and others have a lot
Okay.
of
All right,
wives.
I'll answer that. Okay. All right, I'll answer. I had a couple other questions, so I thought we're good to know. So, Mormons do believe in the Bible. So they still study and read the Bible. The Book of Mormon is just an additional piece of scripture in addition to the Bible. Okay, so if you go to a Mormon church, they'll be quoting the Bible. You go to Sunday school, they're referencing the Bible. They're referencing the Book of Mormon. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else? You asked me that question. Oh, you asked me about different types of Mormons.
Yeah.
Okay. Particularly people not from Utah. For whatever reason, what they think is a Mormon is like a Mormon from like 100 years ago. So when I moved to Maryland for law school from Utah, that's kind of the thing. Everybody's like, well, where are you from? and I'd be Utah, and I was usually like the first person from Utah they had ever met, right? So I remember I had one guy tell me, I said, I'm from Utah, and he's like, whoa, what's it like? And I was like, pretty good. He started asking about my wife's and how many I have, and how do you do that? That seems really hard. And I was like, okay, so the Mormon Church doesn't do that. That's been 100 plus years ago. That was polygamy. In fact, the Mormon Church, there's Revelation. It said no more polygamy. It was actually kind of an issue for Utah becoming a state. They were not able to get statehood while they were allowing polygamy. And so there's Revelation, no more polygamy. All right. Okay, so, all right, these grounds, so that's what is called the church office building, where a lot of the administration of the church is. So I just looked up the wealthiest churches in the world. This is on Wikipedia, okay? Guess who the #1 church is? The Mormon Church.
Just the building alone is millions of
Not
dollars.
even close, okay? The LDS Mormon Church's wealth, $236 billion.
Billion. This one?
Billion.
This one?
Okay?
All of them.
By the way, the Catholic Church has a lot of money, but they're split up into countries. They don't consolidate their money. They have.
They diversify.
They are the Catholic Church of Germany is the wealthiest Catholic Church. 26 billion. Not even to 236 billion.
That's huge.
Not even close.
So do they have mandatory donations?
So you have to pay tithing in the Mormon Church. So it's a 10% of your income. It's like a flat tax. You guys know what flat
What
tax
happens if you don't do it?
is? Okay,
You cannot marry in the
okay,
church.
exactly. Okay, so when I mentioned going to the temple, like you can't go in there unless you have a temple recommend. So you have to be baptized into the Mormon Church. You know, you can do it at any age. If you grow up in the Mormon Church, you do it at the age of 8. And but you can't go in the temple until you receive something called an endowment. So there's like a temple ordinance where you receive this temple ordinance called the endowment ordinance. And I won't get into the details right here, but you get that to do that to go in there. But you really don't do that until like 18, 21-ish, like that age. Okay. So, but you can't get into the temple unless you have a recommend. One of the questions to get a recommend is, are you a full tithe payer? And they have a record of this. If you're driving a nice car and you put in $100, they're gonna be like, that's not 10%.
Do they call the IRS?
They do not call the IRS. But you know, this is church. You know, if you believe in it, like you want to be honest about it, right? Otherwise, why are you going in there? You know?
Right.
So
Did you say how long they've been working on the temple?
it took 40 years to build that in the first place. The renovation here has been going a couple years, 4 or 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When is this supposed to be done?
only certain companies are
Yes.
Mormon can work in here.
I thought you said they were done 4 years.
That was in the 1800s. That was 1893.
Hi, Emma, Skoza. Hi, Shundo. Thank you for joining. I hope you're getting some good information about the Salt Lake City, Utah. If you're watching live, say hello.
And they work on temples. To go in certain spots in the temple, they do, particularly when they're renovating, they require them to be members of the church. Until a temple is dedicated, though, so it's not a temple. So when they're building a new temple, it's not a temple yet until they come and like dedicate it. So they will come and do a specific, you know, ordinance, ceremony type thing, and be like, this is now house of the Lord. Then it's like super protected, right? So, but they're very particular on who can go in there and who can't, and you know, you can YouTube this if you're super curious. I don't recommend it, but you know, they're quite beautiful inside. They really are. They're very beautiful and it's very peaceful in there. People are like have this reverent atmosphere about it, very respectful. So,
Hey, Matt. Matt,
yeah.
is that Brigham Young or Joseph Smith? The
Oh, I didn't
statue?
see that.
statue?
That's probably who is that? It's probably yeah. So this is the place. This is the place. Is that hillside right up there to the north? That mountain up there. That is where this is the place was. Just right to the north where they came in.
Why
Yeah.
is he facing that way, and was that why the bridge was controversial? I'm just looking like
I have
That's
no
kind of in
idea.
his line of sight.
Patty,
so.
these are tough questions.
Sorry.
You know, I could give any answer I want. No one knows. Yeah. So he's looking south. No, I don't know.
Is he like welcoming people to the place, maybe, or?
Yeah, you wouldn't want his back to you, right?
Probably he's pointing like, you.
Yeah.
So if you get married in this temple here, this is a very common place to take like a picture of the whole family in front of the temple and this reflection pond. These grounds are obviously very beautiful. This is like for when I lived in Maryland, the Washington D.C. temple is very beautiful as well. It's like right off the beltway around Washington D.C. And that was another thing when I moved there. It's funny, any of the women in my law school class that grew up in the Washington D.C. area, they would refer to that as the castle. And that was like the thing when you lived there, is like we were a princess and we wanted to get married at the castle. But they were like, but we can't because we're not Mormons. Okay, any other questions over here? The dome on the backside. Oh, the dome on the backside. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So the tabernacle is, they used to use it when they would do this, what's called general conference, which is twice a year. The prophet speaks at that. There's other speakers. It goes like a Saturday, Sunday. And they do it at that conference center right there now, that building back there. It used to be in the tabernacle. So the tabernacle is, I don't know if they use it anymore. They use it anymore?
Not for conference, it's more of just like we had it for 130 years, so.
Okay. It's kind of more of a historical site now. So it can't, like, you'll see when they do like conference here, if you were here, it's like, they ain't fit people in that thing. It's like way too big now. So that conference center is massive. It's beautiful inside. Okay, what else? Who else has questions? Any Utah questions? I mean, this is just a big Mormon thing downtown. Anything else? Anybody?
I was going to say, when are the renovations supposed to be done?
I was just looking that up before I came here. They were supposed to be done by now.
Oh.
But then they pushed them back because they're doing more work. I think there's like earthquake issues. They're just trying to make sure it's like, this is a pretty big, important piece of real estate for the Mormon Church, right? So they're gonna like make sure it's taken care of.
Right.
So.
And this is the first one, right? This is the first temple.
No, this is actually the fourth temple, technically. So as the Mormons were crossing the plains, they had temples in Kirtland, Ohio. The Mormons stopped there for a minute. They had one in Nauvoo, Illinois, I believe, and I don't know. There's one other. I looked this up. It was the fourth temple. I don't know where the other one was. They might have had a temporary one when they were I have no idea.
It was in Missouri.
Missouri. Okay. All right. There you go. See, when they gave me Ben, it was good. You gave me a Mormon guy to help me on the tour. Okay. I brought my chief of staff, Jared. He doesn't know anything about Mormons. Did you learn something today, Jared?
I did.
Okay. All right.
He's here for support.
Yeah.
For next
Okay.
tour.
Yep.
All right. So we got tax and legal back this way. I'm going to walk it because it feels great. But there is the light rail. If you want to hit the light rail, you're like, I'm done with it. It comes out every 5 to 6 minutes. Just make sure you get it going that way. There's different lines, but they all stop at the courthouse, which is 2 stops. It's right before Grand America. If you want to take, and by the way, the light rail is free in town.
Free?
So you're in a free zone here. If you pick it up from there to the courthouse.
How cold is it in Utah?
How cold is it?
How cold does it get during winter?
It's in the there's snow here,
A lot of
So
snow?
it'll get in the 20s and 30s in the winter. So the mountains have snow in the mountains all winter long. So that's the best thing for me about Utah that I love. There's great people here, by the way, but the mountains are unmatched. If you ski, mountain bike, do anything outdoors wise, nothing compares. Not even close, in my opinion.
Not even Colorado?
No. Colorado, not even close. Don't start.
So the
Thank you, man.
outskirts,
Yeah.
which is the best small town?
The best small town?
Yeah.
Good question. So, okay, this is good. So, you have like the suburbs around Salt Lake City, right? I grew up in Sandy, but I don't know, they're all the same. But southern Utah, which is where we have our law firm office, and where Mark started the law firm in 2001, okay? He was a solo practitioner. I joined him in 2006, and we became 50-50 partners in the law firm in 2008. Okay? Now that town it's by another city called St. George that's bigger. St. George, that area has 500,000 people now around it. But Cedar City is like 50,000 people. So our law firm office, still to this day in Utah, is in that little town Cedar City, which is about 3 hours south from here.
Okay.
So southern Utah has places like Zion National Park, Arches. You've seen the big arch for Utah. There's a lot of beautiful national parks in southern Utah. It's a little more desert, than up here where it's more mountains. So that's really the two big population areas. This they call the Wasatch Front, which has, if you keep going north, there's a whole nother cities up there, Ogden, there's an airport up there. You go south, there's Provo, which is where Brigham Young University is. There's another airport down there. And so it's turned into it's all connected now. When I was growing up, they were all 3 separate little population areas. They've just now all connected into one. So, and Salt Lake, and by the way, Utah is the 5th fastest growing state in the U.S. A lot of people move here, a lot of growth. They have population growth because Mormons believe in having children. They multiply and replenish the earth. So they, just culturally, people are just having less kids in the U.S. in general. But people in Utah that are called Utahns generally will have larger families. So.
How is the school system?
What's that?
The school system.
School system?
The school.
Oh, school system.
systems.
Oh, school system. The schools here are good. I mean, I think they get ranked in the middle. But I have good school experience. But the universities are great. So the University of Utah, by the way, is to the east. You can't see it because of the sun, but the University of Utah is like 10 blocks east there on the side of the mountain. So, all right, let's start going south. If I get you guys late, I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay, so that's the end of the tour. We're going back now because the session starts at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, do they just teach their kids entrepreneurial, like business? Well, how?
There are a lot of wealthy Mormons, and they do donate to the church. But the church is it's not like, it's like you should pay your tithe, They're militant about it. It's not like you go to church every day. It's actually very if you go to a Sunday service, church on a Sunday at a Mormon church, it's actually not tough. They won't ask you for money, but it's in the culture and you know about it. It's just talked about once or twice a year, and it's like, this is super important. Yeah. So one thing the Mormon church has done is they've invested very well. So they invest in everything. They're one of the largest landowners in the U.S. They own a ton of real estate. They have private equity. They have a private equity fund. They have, when they get donations, they've just been a very good investor. So
They kind of do it well. It kind of reminds me of the Jews. I know a lot of families that because they teach their kids a lot of the principles in the Old Testament.
Yes, yeah.
Just of the Bible in general.
yeah,
And so I was trying to figure out if that was something similar with the Mormons that they're teaching their kids from
definitely.
kind of stewarding.
That's a big cultural thing. And that's entrepreneurism is definitely in the culture, hard work. Also provident living, being careful with your money and and the resources you have. That's in the religion too and culture. Yeah. So but they have but there's a lot of disclosures that the church had to make to the SEC about their private equity fund and their investment holdings a few years ago, and it was because the church really didn't want that out that he had this much money, and so they had to kind of release the information and disclosures to the SEC about because they had a huge investment fund about here's a lot of the assets we hold.
So we're heading back to the hotel. Sorry, sir.
Well,
thank you for joining us. See you next time. I hope you learn a little bit about Salt Lake City, Utah, just as I have. And make sure to go to www.doballc.com
status.
schedule a consultation session
Give that information.
here for you.
Yeah,
So,
it's just disclosure for the,
how do I start this?
I don't know, for our nonprofit status. And
So how many blogs a day do you do?
this is a big story. You can just Google it.
What's that?
It's like a national news. But that was like the big like revelation.
None.
Oh no! Oh no!
You will not believe this